Welcome back to the Block Runner Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto. Today, we have another guest on the podcast with a financial background to give us his thoughts on cryptocurrencies. Here are some of the topics we'll be going over. Bitcoin has broken through and surpassed the psychological barrier of $10,000. Then we get further into Libra and its impact in the crypto industry. We identify that Bitcoin has not gone through a recession and what it could mean for the future of crypto. We then go over what some economists predict for the future of the markets. And finally, be sure to listen to the end when we show our guests what robots look like when they fight back. I hope you enjoy. Let's listen in. And welcome back to the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, and as always, your man, I-Man, is always here.
Yep, and nothing better to do.
And again, for the fourth time in a row.
Yeah, dude, like I said, the hot streak continues. We got guests on deck.
We got another guest today. His name is Mitch, expert in the financial industry.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Will?
How's it going, man?
Hi, man.
What's up?
I'm living the dream.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
every day I go to work, Monday through Friday, living the dream.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, thank you for joining us on this special podcast where Bitcoin has now reached $10,000 or above.
Dude, it's like way past that now.
Yeah,
we're way past like anything we predicted.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hot, Will.
Dude, can you change the fucking... I don't want to look at this guy forever, dude. Like, can you put a chart up or something?
This old man
just like
got my wiener.
Look at that chart, though.
What is this, the minute? Dude, why do you get the minute chart,
Because, man, we're looking at it live.
Look,
Bitcoin
man, you gotta
live.
at least put it on 30 minutes. I don't like green dildos. makes me uncomfortable.
It's too much fucking action, dude, the minute chart. It's too action.
About 30 minutes.
I'm getting a little bit... Oh, there we go.
That feels...
baby,
better.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to show you this, man. You see these pink lines?
You drew those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I drew them a couple days ago. It's pretty. Look how flat it is, right? It's relatively like has a small angle of increase, right? It's just pretty shallow.
What, Bitcoin?
No, the pink lines.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's pretty shallow. Now wait till you see the daily chart. This is what I predicted. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
This is really, really sharp upwards.
Of course.
But do you think...
And it broke through that.
Dude,
you think it has something to do with Iran right there? You think
like
world,
timing?
World events?
Yeah, I mean,
be a factor into that?
It's possible because this is the $20,000 Bitcoin price, and then we're about halfway there. And this steep increase in what I predicted was going to happen... Like, it actually broke through. Like, it went past, like, that steepness.
Your resistance line that you drew. Yeah. So what does that mean to you?
I don't know. This is completely crazy. In other words,
go to the weekly chart. This is how you really know, like, what's going down. Okay, so we're obviously, like, on a parabolic trajectory. If it goes any higher, you're basically just defying gravity at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's basically a vertical line.
That's what I'm saying. And from my experience, like, these are sell signals. These are points like they're not sustainable for too long. I mean, you just look at 2017 in comparison.
Yeah, true.
I mean, can it just keep going parabolic?
No,
all the way to 20K. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it sort of did. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's pretty much parabolic.
I don't think we're going back to 20K because there's not as much hype. I don't hear the average Joe
I agree.
In the street talking about Bitcoin anymore. I think in the past week, since there's been a lot of tension with Iran, especially, and that the rest of the world sees Bitcoin as a store of value, I think this would be a good place where people across the world would want to store their value, obviously.
So you think like Bitcoin is actually working in that sense? Like
in a sense, yes and no.
Like people are panicking, not panicking. I want to say panicking.
Bring it closer. Move it closer to like in front of you. The microphone.
Oh, the arm.
Yeah, move the arm.
I got the arm.
No, I guess.
Yeah, move it.
Do you want me to
closer this way?
Look at you when I hold the arm.
I think he just wants you like that mic to be like
right on,
caressing your fucking mouth.
On my lips.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just move the arm this way. This way.
Damn it. That's what
I got the arm
for that part.
On my face.
So Bitcoin went up to $11,100, and then it kind of retracted. But obviously, I don't think anyone of us predicted that it was going to go to 10,000 this soon.
No, like I said, I was fucking hoping for whenever it hit, like, let's say 8,000 or something. I was hoping for a correction down to 6, and I told you,
me too.
Like, I was gonna go all in.
Yeah,
like everything I have, I was just gonna sell my car and everything, dude. I was gonna go all in at 6K. It never happened. Yeah. So I was just kind of like sitting here, I missed the boat on this.
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's gonna go back to 8,000. I mean,
well, at this point, there's no point in even trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Cause I mean, we can sit here and try and speculate, but based on what?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm interested in is what's driving this price up. That's what I want to know, because like Mitch said, there's no retail hype.
So let's talk about what Mitch was talking about. So he mentioned that the whole Iran thing, that Trump pulled out from actually sending rockets over there. Right. The other big news this week has been Facebook. So could that be contributing to this? I'm not so sure.
I think Facebook getting involved in the space is kind of like a validation of the technology.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a clear line between Facebook's Libra and say, oh, I heard about Facebook's Libra, let me invest my money in Bitcoin.
I don't think there's a correlation because Facebook's Libra is supposed to be less volatile.
Correct.
Right? They're trying to peg it to a dollar or a euro or something. It's not supposed to swing wildly like Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I feel like if a lot of the major corporations got with each other, there would be more public trust, and that's the major issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So let's talk about, so there's Libra, and then there's this application or this app and consortium called Calibra. And so
that's like the wallet, right?
Yeah, it's a wallet. So from an application standpoint, you just download it and then you can send people Libra. But Calibra is not only a wallet, but it's also a consortium of like all the companies like PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and there's about 28 others.
Right now, but they want 100, right?
And they want 100.
Yeah.
And so the way that this works is these companies have to invest approximately $10 million to be able to run a node for Libra. And Calibra, the consortium, is a nonprofit organization. So that doesn't mean that these companies don't make money. So obviously to send somebody Libra, there's fees associated. Of course, it's not going to be like 1%. It should be a lot less. So anyone running a node will be able to, transact with Libra, and the nodes, the verifying nodes are the ones doing the processing, the verification. So they get the fees.
It's like a flat fee. It's like,
I don't know if it's flat. I don't know if it's percentage. I don't know.
Like, let's compare this to EOS, because it's the same structure as EOS governance wise.
That's what it looks like.
There's 21 nodes in EOS.
Right.
Each block producer gets a share of the EOS inflation rate, right?
Right.
An evenly distributed share. So, I mean, they're getting these EOS tokens. They're not getting a flat fee of transactions that are being made on the network. So they're getting.
It looks like their monetization strategy is twofold. So it's not only the transaction fees that they get, but because people are putting in dollars, yen, euros, pesos, they're putting that all into a single bank account. And that bank account accrues interest. And so some of that interest is going to be distributed to the consortium.
So they're a bank.
Oh, yeah.
This is a bank. This is like a new world bank.
So, Mitch, give us your opinion.
We got a banker here.
Yeah.
I am a banker for a big box bank company A. That's true. But to become a true financial institution, there's a lot of regulatory issues that you have to go through. From what I understand, the Libra is not a bank from what I know and from what I read. And
but you don't think they have hopes to become some type, not like a traditional type of bank, but like I think their aspirations is, they even say themselves, to bank the unbanked. Mm-hmm. The third world version of third world country, people who don't have access to a bank like you and I do. So I guess what they want to do is, but they have access in that part of the world, right? With Facebook, they're permeated in part of the world, meaning all you need is a cell phone and a connection to the internet, and you have a Facebook account.
That's right.
So they want it to be like, if you have your Facebook account, you also have access to a bank,
right?
Or like a way to think. I think that's what they have in mind.
So the vision that I see, and what's been conveyed to me across the industry, not necessarily with Libra, but I can see the same vision with Facebook. Mobile phones are becoming cheaper by the year. Right. And to transfer dollar amounts from, let's say, the fisherman man and to a guy who sells fruit in some country that doesn't really have that has hyperinflation and super peg, they could take, nice American dollars or nice Euro dollars or even pesos, whatever they wanted to transact with. He's like, I'll bring phone to phone. I know this money works. And Facebook's worldwide. The hot girl at my bank has never heard of EOS, and when I tried to explain to her, she looks at me like I'm stupid. But if
you're trying to explain to her like anything crypto related, right?
Anything,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can be like, yeah, public keys, private key. Public key is your email. Private key is your password. It's lost on there. But if I mention Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, all of a sudden,
she's like, "What?"
Yes. Let me listen to you and let me listen to what you have to say.
That's true. That's a good point. All of a sudden, everyone's looking now, right? Because Facebook. That's what I'm saying. It validates the space a little bit.
Yeah.
By Facebook coming in.
But does that hot girl at your bank, does she recognize that the Libra coin is a pseudo cryptocurrency, kind of like a Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency?
No, she doesn't. But if I had to explain it to her, it'd be a lot easier to explain to her, an Ethereum or Bitcoin. I could just say, look, the first thing she would say is, yeah, Bitcoin has wild fluctuations. I know about Bitcoin. The thing about Libra is it's supposed to be pegged to a real world asset. It's supposed to be backed by real world dollars, that we can see and that's transparent. And I couldn't say it's like, well, with Bitcoin you can do something with mining. You can mine Bitcoin, and after certain blocks, you get a piece. She's not gonna like talking about that. We're talking about scalability. You have to do something for the common folk, and you want to explain it in one or two sentences. You don't want to read.
It's true.
The paper.
See, but my question is the correlation between Libra and the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Are they going to make that connection?
I think it's hard enough alone just trying to explain to the common person why we even need cryptocurrencies in the first place.
Well, that's true.
I think most people aren't even aware of why, like what is the need for decentralized anything?
Okay, let me jump in for a second. So we have an influx of immigrants coming to the U.S. There's I forget what the proper term is when people send money out of the U.S. to, let's say, remittances, exactly. So it's remittances, and with a Facebook cryptocurrency, it makes it easier to send remittances out of the country because let's say
because they don't have to go through the banking cartel, right?
Exactly.
If you have a bank in the United States and you want to send money to Argentina, it probably has to go through 3 different banks. It has to go from your bank to an exchange, and from that exchange to the Argentinian bank.
Yeah.
And so every time that money jumps, there's a fee, and that fee is plus 10%.
But what is the fee? The fee is like the people. They have to pay the people to transfer this value from institution to institution.
Forget about the fee. It takes time.
Yeah, it takes over a week to get over there.
Man hours. If I want my $20, I want my $20 now.
Exactly, right?
You're sending $20 to Argentina. I don't remember the peg rate, but it's pretty decent. $20 in Argentina, $20 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it'll get you by.
Yeah,
for sure. $20 or any country in that matter.
The thing is, it'll cost you like $30 or $40 to send $20.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That bad, huh?
Through the banking system.
Yeah, through the banking system.
Yeah.
Now, if we have Libra, then I just send you $20 worth of Libra, and it gets there, maybe costs a penny or two, and you
depends on their network, I guess.
But then again, converting Libra into their currency is likely a scenario where they make more money.
Who?
Potentially Facebook.
Converting, okay, so
because think
Libra
about it.
is minting these Libras, or Facebook is, or not Facebook, Calibra.
Calibra, yeah.
Because Facebook's trying to dissociate themselves from this whole thing. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Like
they're one of the 100 essentially.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so they're minting these Libras based on how many fiat currency is in the bank.
Just like Tether does.
Just like Tether, yeah.
Because it's a stable coin, just like Tether.
So here's the win. And so right now in the States, we get our direct deposit through something called ACH. For an ACH to clear, it takes a couple of business days. And that's why you get your money on, they probably send it on a Wednesday, you get it on a Friday.
Yep.
With blockchain and sending remittances out, you don't have to go through the ACH process, right? But you need, and on the back end, you need conversions from, let's say, the Mexican peso to the dollar, and you can send that instantly. And banks in different countries can send that instantly to ensure a strong, a fair trade value. And that's where was it Calibra? And that's where the Calibra has its store value. You're backed by all these huge companies with a lot of assets and a lot of backing, and it's stable.
Yeah,
it brings a certain amount of trust into converting, pesos into dollars.
Yeah.
So that brings up another thing. So the cryptocurrency experts. Here's a question. So if Libra is pegged to this fiat currency, and we know that fiat currency is continuously inflationary. There's a self-defeating prophecy here that I see with Libra, because if the dollar just continuously inflates, just like the peso, just like the euro, and all these other fiat currencies, they continuously inflate. And of course, they inflate relatively slowly, but nonetheless inflating. If you extrapolate that your bank account, the bank account that is holding all that fiat currency is always going to be growing just simply because of inflation. But what's the only value that I see in Libra is the fact that you can send a Libra from one country to another and you'll get it within a few minutes. But that's where it ends. That's where the value ends. Now, so what you're doing is when you're transacting with Libra, you're essentially just using an alternative payment network that is controlled by companies instead of governments. And so, in my opinion, I think cryptocurrencies is just a different animal than the Libra is. And that's why Andreas Antonopoulos is talking about how Libra is not a blockchain like the other cryptocurrencies are blockchain.
Well, because the ultimate purpose of a cryptocurrency is to do the same thing a Libra token does, right? But
it's to do the same thing, but without the control of companies or governments.
Exactly.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you here. Unless there's total anarchy across the world, that vision is not gonna happen. There's always gonna be governments, like there was 3,000 years ago when there was an Egyptian government. There was trade routes.
Governments are good, but their ability to control the monetary system, that's where it gets bad.
So, from a banking standpoint, and that's why the banking institution is so strong in the States, the U.S. government wants to be able to look into your bank accounts. I had a story where a certain business owner owed the IRS a certain amount of money. Do you know what the IRS can do? They can pull that money from your bank account at any time.
Yep.
And so the IRS sent a letter is like, you owe me $500,000. And the Mr. Business owner said, I don't have $500,000. And the IRS said, yes, you do. And they pulled it.
Yep.
It's about control.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
So there's a couple of good things with Libra is that you're banking the unbanked, which of course, if you're introducing 1.5 billion people into the market, everybody makes more money because you got 1.5 billion people participating in the market. And now with cryptocurrencies, the market is global. There's no more waiting, 4 to 5 business days for money. There's you literally sending cryptocurrency and receiving cryptocurrency happens within the same hour. And so having Libra bringing on 1.5 billion people is always a good thing. But when you're talking about governments controlling money and their ability to just extract money from your bank account, that's where you want to go to the more traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and all these other
Yeah, because essentially there's nothing a government can do to intervene or stop that type of...
Yeah, there's nothing.
The only thing they can do is just not allow merchants to accept it, basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way the government can step in and say, like, hey, you know, because no matter what, they're never going to gain access to...
But even then, what you would do is you take your $1 million worth of Bitcoin, you convert, you know, the $100 that you need for groceries into Libra, and you go transact with Libra at the grocery store.
But again, we always say, like, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have to be that means of exchange.
I totally agree. I don't think it will be, to be honest. I think it's going to be the store of value, and it's going to be the thing that all the countries who want to come out with their own cryptocurrency, because they're not going to let freaking Facebook take over government-controlled money, right? They're just not without the control that they want to impend on Facebook.
Well, do we exactly know that yet? Because...
Dude, right now governments have control of money, and Facebook is trying to get that control.
No, I'm talking about the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. I think it's going to last another 10 years? From what I read and from different experiments, it hasn't been established yet. And let me tell you why. Bitcoin has never been through a true economic recession. It started during a recession.
It started right after, 2009.
Correct. And so I was sitting in the meeting, and the top economist from Big Box Bank A told me and everybody else in that meeting that we're expecting an economic recession in 2019 at a 50% chance, 2020 75% chance. And what Trump has done is that he has created this trade war with China to cause the Fed to not raise interest rates. And in the United States of America, yes, all the economic factors are looking good, but you have to consider that we're in an election season. The S&P 500, I believe 2 days ago, hit an all-time high.
Yeah, that's true.
If you look at the chart, it just double topped. When are you going to let these evaluations stop? So if you want to know if these cryptocurrencies have true value, let the recession hit.
Well, that's just Bitcoin, basically. I think only one claiming to be a store of value is Bitcoin. And the only one that has that right to claim.
Yeah, potential.
Potential to claim that right solely based on speculation, really, at this point.
Yeah, it's staying power, it's marketability,
because of its similar attributes to gold, essentially. That's what Satoshi had in mind when he designed this thing.
Well, so that's where,
but that's not true.
Satoshi had something else in mind. It's a peer-to-peer cash system, it was a good it was a good idea. But I think Bitcoin, as it is now, just like we talked before, it has a higher calling, being the store of value for the planet.
But see, with the thing of gold, if we have complete economic collapse, is if Mr. Joe Schmo is like, yeah, I got some gold and silver and these little coins. I was like, yes, give me your gold coins. I'll take these, sir, because back in the day they had a store of value. Now, if we go into ancient times, today they have a store of value. And to see how to put it, how very wealthy people see it. They never heard of Bitcoin, but you know what they do believe in? Assets like land,
sure,
physical things, buildings, physical things that they can hold in their hand.
Yeah, for sure. Because why? Because it's always been that way. And this is, like I say, this is an infant stage
asset. Yeah,
like the digital era when it comes to assets is just now starting today.
Yeah,
that's why we're talking about it.
And Mitch, you do agree that cryptocurrencies is a digital asset, just like a land is an asset?
I do agree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I shove over a pound of gold in your direction,
that's a lot of money, Will.
That is a lot of money. That is absolutely a lot of money. But I shove it over on the table, give you a pound of gold. What are you going to do with a pound of gold?
Are you asking what I'm going to do with it?
Yeah, what do you do with it?
Do I need it immediately, or do I?
No. Just what do you do?
Your instincts kicking, like what to do with it.
Yeah. What do you?
Well, no. There's certain variables involved. Do I need it liquid now, or do I need it for later?
what I'm trying to get at is it's true value. It's actual value of a pound of gold or a pound of any metal, right? It's use of that gold. Like, for example, gold is very conductive. It conducts electricity a lot better than copper. So what you would do with gold is use it in circuits, in silicon, right? And so that's where the value of gold is. Another thing is it's not porous. So you use it for medical applications. Like, for example, the easiest one is teeth, right? The other one is they're using nano gold particles to attack cancer cells.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so that's the value of gold, is it in its application, not in its store of value. And the reason why it's a store of value in the past is because it's very hard to mine, and there's not a lot of it on Earth. But if you go outside of Earth, any asteroid, you'll find gold. Any asteroid, you'll find, all kinds of rare metals. And so in reality, gold is really not rare.
So let's get back to giving me a pound of gold and giving me a pound of gold.
Okay, so let me define that question a little bit more. So let me give you the scenario in which I give you a pound of gold. It's the apocalypse, so the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
What do you do with a pound of gold in the zombie apocalypse?
If there's a zombie apocalypse, right, the only thing that would, to me, that would be worth anything would be guns, food, and metal, because how else do you transact when there's total chaos?
Okay, so that's the question is, what is the gunsmith down the street going to do with that gold?
He can do absolutely nothing with that gold, Will.
And that's where I'm trying to get at, is that gold has... the only value metals have is in its application. And so when gold becomes cheaper, let's say there's a downturn in the gold market, right? It's not $1,400, it's $700. Now it becomes easier to use gold in circuits. It becomes easier for the medical industry to use that to attack cancer, right? It's not $1,400, it's $700. It's easier to use. So just because gold goes down in value doesn't mean it actually goes down in value, right? Because you can apply it to different applications. And so something that has true store of value is in true scarcity, which is Bitcoin, right? There's only will ever be 21 million, and therefore that's where its value comes from, is there will be no more.
I have to agree with that statement. Disagree with that statement, because gold is I can hold gold in my hand.
Yeah, but
when I explain to average Joe hot girl at my bank,
no, I understand. I totally agree.
And she's like, "Where's the Bitcoin at?" And I say, "It's in the blockchain." What's the blockchain? The internet.
No, I know, but we're not talking about.
And then she looks at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So, but if there's a zombie apocalypse, how else do you transact?
Well, it's
in food.
Well, probably barter.
Yeah,
I don't even think gold and silver will have.
There is an exchange of value
scenario.
because
but
you could compare the zombie apocalypse like ancient times. It's nice and shiny.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. Is that the actual value of gold is not in its scarcity or the monetary value that we put onto it. It's the application of that metal. And so, but if you want true scarcity, you go into the cryptocurrencies, the digital assets, where there's only so much. And for example, in gold, like I said, if you go outside of Earth, you can find gold plentiful.
Yeah, but the value pegged to it now is not based on what's possible outside.
No, I know, but that's because it wasn't possible. That's because there was nothing better than gold.
Yeah,
but we're not mining asteroids now, Will.
I know it is. That's not the point, though. But we could if we wanted to. If we needed more gold, we go and mine asteroids.
Yeah, if you needed it.
If you need it for an actual application, exactly.
Yeah. But that's the thing. The reason why it's 1,400 is trading 1,400 spot price isn't.
It's because of its legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
perceived value.
Yeah.
Okay, forget about that. I was at Mr. Jeweler trying to buy a custom watch, and I was like, "So how much gold can I put in this, Mr. Jeweler? I want like a black and gold watch." He's like, "We can only do that based off the spot price." Now, if I came to that dude with a pound of gold and I was like, "Yes, I would like this, and I want to trade with this today," or I wanted to trade my pound of gold for today, and I went to a reputable jeweler, they would give me cash on the spot for that. Now, if I went to him and was like, "Yeah, I got some Bitcoin," it's a little bit different. Now, audience, don't get me twisted here. I am all about the blockchain industry. But I see it from both ways here. I don't see anything transacted in blockchain except the true believers or the early adopters. And I still believe we're in early adoption, but I would like to go back to, we have not seen Bitcoin in a true economic downturn.
Absolutely.
And it's coming. And if this survives a downturn, if it's 2028, okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying like you'll 100% be on board once we find out for sure what institutions, where they place their money, you know, because they're in a downturn, they're taking their money out of what, equity, like stocks, bonds, where they traditionally place their money where, you know, like if you're like a hedge fund manager or whatever.
That's a good question.
Your job is to, like, you have a bunch of clients, right? You're supposed to manage their wealth for them. I think that's what their job is.
Yeah.
So like when a market is on its way down, what do? You take your money out of stocks, right?
You sell your equities and you go for more hard assets, treasuries, bonds,
yeah,
and gold and silver.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard. It's been the formula.
It's been that way like for I don't know how, like 100 years.
I believe Vanguard started in the 50s.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't been 100 years. No? The stock market is starting next year. Stock market has only been around for 100 years.
Next year is the 100-year anniversary.
Damn. It's pretty close. Market? Yes,
2020.
Yep,
that's funny. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, traditionally. So yeah, you're right. Bitcoin has to weather one of these storms in order for it to truly claim its
totally agree. I totally agree. Right. And I think my guess is it will. Yeah, I mean, it definitely will.
Well, the institutions, I don't think will, because
no, they'll probably put
institutions here.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put it.
Imagine if they did, dude. What would that do to the value of Bitcoin?
Not only the
institutions
value,
of trillions of dollars.
Dude, forget the value of Bitcoin. The value of the dollar, that would just like disappear.
Why?
Just because they would. I guess they're hedging, so they're going to put it in either gold or Bitcoin.
Well, it's faith in the currency which gives the dollar value, because it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah,
or
that's right.
It's a number in your bank account. But let me tell you something. So in Mr. Box Bank A, I had the opportunity to talk to a top level executive, and I was like, you know what, this is really exciting. I saw y'all did a loan on the blockchain, and I want you to tell me about that.
Hell yeah.
Tell me what you know about that. And this is exactly what he told me. Even though it was a $200 million loan, they did it on the blockchain. And I was like, and I was very disappointed with this answer. He's like, this is all about hype.
That's what he said.
This is all about making headlines and to say that we're on the forefront of this.
Yeah,
on
marketing.
The forefront of that. This is all about hype.
That makes sense.
Yes, it's on the blockchain, but we took the proper precautions to make sure we get paid our money no matter what happens. And this was a high level guy. This is a top level guy. You know, he wasn't very far down from the CEO, and he gave me a pat on the back, and then he bought me a beer.
So whenever a bank loan is on the blockchain, what does that actually mean? Like, what gets stored?
It seems to me that they were just using the blockchain as a buzzword for marketing purposes. Now, does it do
that's
anything?
Correct.
Yeah.
They didn't actually apply it?
No, they did. They did apply it, and this is a working loan right now.
Yeah. So let me explain to you what a real loan in a cryptocurrency blockchain would look like.
Yeah.
And it would be as simple as a smart contract.
It did have a smart contract. I can confirm.
It was on Ethereum, wasn't it?
It was on the Ethereum network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it's probably a legit, blockchain loan.
Yeah.
Because it's very simple. The smart contract would say, I'll give you $100,000 if you for this production of a house, and then you promise to pay back the $110,000 for the loan, and that's it.
Which is essentially, like, in the real world, same terms are met and postulated beforehand.
In this case, it's all automated. Like you completely eliminate the use of the human force, and then you pay back the application $110,000.
But you know what I didn't understand about the banking world is that there's something called swaps. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a swap applied to that. And what I mean by swap is...
Can you explain what a swap is?
Yes, I will. in standard traditional banking, there's something called interest rate risk.
Okay.
So if you fix something over a certain amount of years, if the interest rate goes up, if the bank doesn't have an interest rate, they lose money. So they apply something called a swap with a different institution, and they swap interest rates for more profitability. And
can you give like an example, like for a house? If I have
yes, that's perfect, because I recently did one on a commercial property in the South, and it's first of all, a swap for a bank is not for the consumer; it's to make the most money, right? And they're like, yes, Mr. Borrower, I am going to give you this interest rate. But with another institution or another entity, they're like, we're going to trade this amount to guaranteed fixed payments over time.
Okay.
So you swap the interest rate, and so both parties benefit. So when the interest rate goes over a certain amount of like we call it basis points, we call it BPS, BIPS. When the Fed raises or lowers interest rates, and this is in increments of 25 basis points, is at 0.25 bips. It's called Wall Street Journal Prime. You can look this up today. Wall Street Journal Prime is 5.5%. It's not the cost of lending money. That would be Libra between other banks. But let's go back to swaps.
Is that
what happened? Was it the end? Okay, swaps. Yeah, why did you bring up swaps though?
It seems like it's a way for banks to say, hey, I got this borrower paying at 4% interest rate, and I wanna swap this interest rate with yours, which is 6%. But how does it affect the borrower there?
In terms of the Ethereum contract?
No, in terms of just like swaps. Like for example,
it doesn't affect the borrower. It affects the bank to make sure the profitability stays the same throughout the duration of the loan.
And you're saying the reason why it changes is because the Feds changed the maximum interest rates that could be had?
Yes. So in the States, it's called Wall Street Journal Prime, and that would be on revolving lines of credit.
Okay.
And that's what the Fed meets up every quarter, and they discuss the economy, and they decide, and this can be looked up by average Joe user, and then decide whether to raise or lower the interest rate. Right?
Interesting. Okay.
And that is the cost of money in the United States. For big businesses, for small businesses, across the board. It affects the consumer, it affects you and I. And that's you go back to Donald Trump. He is having this trade war with China to lower the interest rate, keep the cost of money low, so more money will go out to the people. And when the interest rate is low, more people are buying stocks to raise the stock market to make him look better going to election season.
That's probably why he's constantly tweeting about the performance of the stock market. Like almost every week.
That's exactly why he's doing that. This is all a political stunt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, no, true. But then you have something called Libra, and Libra is the cost. Like Libra is a floating rate. Every 30 days, the Bank of England changes the Libra rate. It's like, I think right now it's at 2.13%. It's the cost of what banks charge each other. And then the spread on that rate is a spread that they charge customers. So when you add 300 basis points, pretty much 3%. And that's the spread. That's how banks make money. They make money off the spread. Mm. They don't make money off the what they loan to each other.
Yeah.
Man, that's why I hate the banks, dude. Shit's very complicated.
Well, it's very inside shit.
It is inside shit, and you couldn't do that on a smart contract platform without changing the complete contract. Mm-hmm. Like, you couldn't do it. I mean, that's sort of the point. That you can't just, like, change numbers within the contract once it's signed.
Like, a diehard crypto, let's say, like, you know, these people who started this Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything. What do they have in mind as far as true decentralization? Do they want everything we just talked about to be eliminated? Like everything is automated on the blockchain, everything is done through smart contracts.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, if I was Vitalik,
exactly
anything that you can do on a smart contract, you should do on a smart contract
because it's all
automated.
It's all automated. It's all verifiable. There you go.
Yeah,
it's all in code.
Yeah, it's all there, and there's no like nefarious business.
There's no shit going on. Like I said, behind the scenes, that only the insiders know what's going on.
Correct.
They're the only ones profiting from it.
Yep.
And when shit goes sour, they're the ones stepping out of the way, and the rest of us have to take the punishment. Right.
That's right.
That's why this whole thing is happening.
Yeah. Which is another reason why blockchains and especially a blockchain like Ethereum is so powerful, because you can sell a house, an NFT house on the blockchain, and then you can pay for that loan on the blockchain. And you don't have to deal with humans.
Your brother brought that up. He's like, what the fuck is this? Like, request a mortgage when you're trying to purchase a parcel of land on Decentraland.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's some type of like automated
like for example
system.
If you own once we get into Decentraland we can talk about it, but essentially if you own a piece of land, you can request a mortgage and build on that land and then pay back that mortgage on the land,
just like you could in the real world.
Exactly.
You know what I think what's funny is that, you know, how we believe in the blockchain and how everybody who's listening believes in the blockchain, is that the financial institutions are actually the first ones using the blockchain. But see, the thing is, it's a good old boys club, right? There's equities changing on a blockchain right now. Barclays has been using the blockchain for years. They've been using Ethereum contracts. Why haven't we heard of this?
Yeah. Why not?
It's because the financial institutions want to take the money first. I looked into it. There's already some kind of stock exchange on the blockchain. I think, who's that guy on Shark Tank?
Mark Cuban?
No, it's the one who's like super greedy and he does his hands in like a triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin O'Leary?
Yes, Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
They have gotten together and purchased real estate in New York and cut it into tiny pieces on the blockchain.
Already?
Yes, that happened last year. Why is an average Joe Schmo
through what platform?
It's private.
Yeah,
it's private.
I believe that for sure.
We were speculating for a long time that banks have been accumulating Bitcoin for the last couple of years,
but I don't think so. Like,
no, they've been doing it through their own private blockchains. This isn't on a public thing.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say I buy real estate. I buy building in New York. I create my own blockchain. The code is open source and I chop it up into little pieces and I sell it to all my rich friends.
Yeah.
They're testing that right now. They're testing that today, and I forget what website I found it, but you need to be a player in the game to buy into that.
You have to be an accredited investor, basically.
Yes.
Oh
exactly.
yeah. I mean, we talked about that, right?
Those are security tokens.
It's tokenizing like a building.
Exactly, and it already exists, but it's not open to the public.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not.
Yeah.
Which sucks a lot, but
that's the thing we keep talking about. Like, you have to have money to make money, right? If we were accredited investors, shit, I mean, we'd be in all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I would be rubbing on my titties right now, Will.
Hell yeah, dude.
Blank blow.
It'd be great times, dude, to be an accredited investor.
Yeah.
You know, but this is a new part. I guess you said it's private. I'm not exactly sure what the difference between private and public blockchain. I guess it's all the.
Well, it's like
it's not an open ledger. You need access.
It's permission.
That means there's some kid named Zhang running the whole thing, and they're making millions of dollars off themselves. A public one's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like on what network? Like
the Ethereum network.
It's on Ethereum, but it's private.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck do you do that?
Well, you don't have to offer it to anybody. You don't have to offer these tokens to anybody. You can just create, you
mint your own tokens because a new project is being built in Times Square or whatever. Or not Times, New York City.
In Manhattan. Yes.
And then you offer it to your billionaire club and everybody gets a share.
Mm-hmm. They don't have to sell it to each other. To the public. They don't have to sell it to the public.
Correct. They sell it to each other.
It's a way just to to distribute like ownership, I guess.
Yeah,
which wasn't possible before blockchain, or what? Like,
well, that was possible in terms of shares, but now everything is verifiable and it's easier. It's all automated.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you just tokenize an asset, and then you just split that asset into its tokens, and then you just sell the tokens.
That's exactly what's happening, and it has true ownership.
Yeah, it's definitely true ownership,
and they get paid dividends based on that ownership. So, like, if the building is like Google pays, to use a building, and, that dividend gets distributed to all the owners of the building. It's a smart way to do it. I mean, that's the new form of asset ownership in the world now.
Well, not yet, but
oh yeah, eventually.
I hope so. Hopefully, we get a piece of that. But there is. We brought up smart lands. That's like the smart lands. You mentioned it. There's a project in the UK, I think in Nottingham or something like that, where there's like a student housing project where us can actually take part ownership in.
Really?
Through their platform.
It's on the Stellar Lumens network.
You could just Google smart lands and figure it out.
We can pause. You want to pause?
Yeah, let's pause. Well,
right. Yeah, we can pause it. And we're back.
Pew, pew.
So yeah, we just had a little break here, and now we want to talk about aliens. We want to talk about smart lands. We want to talk about Decentraland. What should we go first? What do you want to talk about, Mitch?
Let's start with the blockchain and end with the aliens.
All right, smart lands.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before? We were talking about private STOs.
Yeah.
Which Mitch said it's been going on, which I believe it.
So I've never heard of smart lands. Can you guys explain to me what this is?
To me, it sounds like what it looks like an STO issuance platform. Not an issuance. It's just where you could divvy up shares in a real estate project. I think it's only real estate from my understanding.
I'll tell you everything that I know. I know it's on the Stellar Lumens network. There was an article published on Forbes on June 21st of 19, which was yesterday. Do I know exactly what it is? No, but I know it's been getting a lot of hype in the crypto community and is worth taking a look at.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when it was published on Forbes. You know what was the last thing that I looked at that was published in Forbes, Ivan? Tron.
Was it really published in Forbes?
Yes. What's his name? Justin Sun?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a huge believer in Justin Sun before
everybody else found out about him?
Yes, everybody else found out. There was an article written in August of 2017, stroking the chicken before everybody else. And I actually bought Tron when it was on the what was it called at the time? Where did I buy it?
Like Hit BTC or something?
No, it was something. It was
Ether Delta?
Like the Ether Delta.
Dude, that's even worse.
I bought Tron off of Ether Delta and I sent it to a Muse smart wallet.
Yeah.
And I held it for months and months and months before the huge speculation on Binance and whatever.
Yeah, but
what price did you buy it at though?
I bought it at 0.0012 cents.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
and a lot of it.
Fucking, like, it was a nothing project.
Yeah.
With nothing volume, too. But back me up on this, because I always say, like, the only reason Tron got the fame and acclaim it has today is because of the Binance trading contest.
Yeah,
Do you remember that shit?
That was a straight scam, but the thought was there and then the hype was there. And before everybody knew about it, I was like, yes, I'm going to buy Tron. Even Iman bought Tron, but we sold a little bit too early. We missed until I had 2 million Tron, and
Holy
I sold
shit.
it. Yes.
I had like 800,000 of them. Yeah.
Yes, I had 2 million Tron at one point, and it really hurts.
Yeah.
My life would be completely different.
It would.
If it was today. If,
You probably would have went to jail, too.
Yep. Instead,
You would have had so much money.
Instead, I live in corporate cuckdom.
Yeah. But it's like...
So what made you sell though? I mean, you had 2 million Tron. Like, what was the trigger to sell?
Because there was other shit popping off while, you could just sit there.
What's that?
Impatient.
What was that? Cardano? Cardano was one.
Power Ledger was the big one.
Power Ledger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that that's Power Coin, right? With the out of Australia.
Exactly.
Power Ledger was another one.
So all those were popping, and then Tron was just doing nothing, essentially.
It just sat there until December.
Yeah.
Until Binance decided, hey,
Yeah,
let me chill the fuck out. And my contention is because remember when Binance first launched, they had their own ICOs listed on it?
And Tron was the first one listed.
Thank you,
and,
man.
And you know what happened? There was a fire sale on Tron, and that's how I was able to get so many for so cheap.
It was a fire sale because they got delisted, right? Is that what you said?
They got delisted.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because of government regulation at the time. They wanted to do IEOs before, like, it was acceptable.
Like a Chinese government regulation or what?
I think China just put like the ban hammer on that shit.
And you know, it just scared a lot of people out of the market. It scared Binance enough to delist them, even though they're a Hong Kong.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is the thing about Smartlands. Smartlands is under the radar. It's on the Stellar Lumens network. If nobody knows anything about Stellar Lumens, it is exactly what we've been talking about the whole stream. It is supposed to bank the unbanked. It is coded by the IBM partners. The only red flag that I would say recently, because I have been keeping up with Stellar Lumens for over a year or two, is that Jesse Lund left. And if you want to know about Jesse Lund, is he used to work for Wells Fargo, and then he joined IBM as the vice president of the blockchain section. That's the only cause for concern. But yes, Smartland project is on the Stellar Lumens platform, which pretty much is there's going to be different. And there are different projects on the Stellar Lumens platform, but Smartlands is the most famous right now. It's definitely worth taking a look.
Yeah, for sure.
I see that. So it's offering tokenized investment opportunities. So in this case, it's like a building that's being tokenized, and you can own a piece of it. And then it looks like, according to the Smartlands website, is that for one example, the funding target for this particular building is about €1 million, and then expected returns annualized is 15.72%. And so it looks like you get a dividend every single year.
Yeah. So it's not like you're investing in an ICO, right? Where you're participating in a pre-sale and you're expecting these tokens to enter your wallet that have speculative value attached to them, because all it is a project with like no prototype, no working product. Usually they're just white papers, right? So the value fluctuates wildly. With these projects, you could see the building, right? These are non-volatile, true assets. These tokens are backed by something physical.
The weird thing that I see with this is, I mean, this is a pretty big sized building, and they're only looking for €1 million. Like, are they wanting to do renovations, or are they wanting, like, I don't understand. I would think it's...
Well, that's a very good question to ask, and it looks like that building has already been developed.
Right.
We haven't read anything onto it yet, but a 15% return looks like a pipe dream for now until we do our due diligence on that.
That's true. Don't take them for their word for it, right? Just because they say 15% doesn't mean shit, right?
Exactly. 15. Look, if you make 4% in the stock market, you had a good year. Yeah. And that's by professional... 15%, that's definitely going to raise a few eyebrows. Yeah. It definitely raises my eyebrow, and especially that building looks like it's worth 5, 6, 7 million.
More than that. It's a nice building.
And you know what? You could probably pull it up publicly if you typed in the address. I don't know what the address is, but you could probably pull it up. You could probably pull up a tax assessed value.
32. It's in Nottingham, UK. 32 Russell Street, Nottingham, NG7 4FL.
Yeah, that's not $1 million, but you got to see what that $1 million is for first.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's definitely it's like a student accommodation, like
a dorm, for a university, which is a big university, University of Nottingham. That's a very big one.
So that's interesting. I mean, the problem with us being in the United States is that we can't participate in any security tokens, and that shit sucks.
It does, but the concept is what's important to pay attention to.
Here's the other thing. Hey, this, like you're saying, this running on the Stellar network, what you do is you own Stellar because it provides value.
Exactly.
But like I said, Jesse Lund is a huge loss to the total blockchain project. I know.
Who was that guy?
Jesse Lund was the vice president at IBM and the blockchain development technology. Like I said, he's from Wells Fargo. He's an ex-banker, and that's why I had such a tie to Stellar Lumens. I was a very big bull on Stellar Lumens. If anything, you could tie them directly to Ripple. But I feel like the Stellar Lumens project has a bigger vision because it's more of a platform, and Ripple is more of a transfer of value from X bank to X bank. Like I said, you can build stuff on the Stellar Lumens network, and it's super fast.
Interesting. And I'm sure you've seen other projects that start to tokenize like physical assets, right? Like you've seen some other ones.
Yeah, Smartlands wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
Like I said, Polymath, from what I understood, was the pioneer of this whole concept, the security token platform. But at some point recently, Polymath realized they're going to do what they set out to do. They have to build their own blockchain. So they moved off of Ethereum, and now they're partnering with Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson to build their own security token, purpose-built blockchain.
Is there anything that has happened with Is a Cardano blockchain even exist yet?
Not yet. I think they're just in testnet phase.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yes.
Still?
I wouldn't touch that.
That dude has been like traveling for 2 years, like taking like soy boy selfies all over the world.
Because he probably sold like a steak and he's worth millions. Yeah,
Cardano.
Exactly.
It pumped, regardless of it
pumped to $1
from like less than a
penny.
And I bought a bunch of Cardanos too. Sold them all for EOS, but EOS is out there and chugging and running. You know, that's why I did it. Yeah. Because like I said, EOS or Dan Larimer himself, he had the actual track history of building and delivering actual blockchains.
Yeah. A testnet worth $2.5 billion.
Yeah. For sure.
Hey, this one just came up recently within the last week or two. What in the hell is that?
I have no idea.
This is worth $1.8 billion. Is Unus said Leo.
What the fuck? You clicked on it?
Dude, where did that come from?
It just $1.8 billion manifested out of thin air.
It's probably a platform then.
Let's go to the website.
Okay, yeah.
Bitfinex.
What the fuck? Professional trading. Was that it?
No, that wasn't it. I mean,
you clicked on website.
Yeah, I clicked on website, but
it should take you to the website.
Okay, so we're gonna Google this.
We're investigating.
What? So we're trying to look up Uno said Leo.
Look, man, let's forget about those distraction wells. Let's just move on to the next topic until we have time to research this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It just came up on like thin air. I just want to know.
It doesn't even sound sexy.
Yeah, it's
Uno said Leo.
Are you getting hot off of this? Because I'm not.
Not until we look at it.
Yeah, we'll have to see like where the $1.8 billion came from, but okay. So yeah, we saw the coin market cap of Cardano at 1.5 billion.
So what have we established so far?
2.5 billion.
Yeah, that Cardano is not worth more than AMD. That's all I have to say.
How much is AMD?
Let's check the market cap. Finance.yahoo.com.
Why AMD though?
Well, because
it's a true chip maker. I'm sorry.
I see. Yeah.
But you could say that about like almost any cryptocurrency, right? Like that's
for the most part. Yeah, it's all still like.
Well, you can't really tie. You can't. There's no way to. There's no general consensus on how to evaluate a cryptocurrency yet. You know, because it's not based on.
No, just go to finance.yahoo.com.
Yeah, it's not based on financial fundamentals, is what I'm saying.
And you know what? The value of yahoo.com it's finance.yahoo. That's what separates itself from Google.
Check out that gold price, Willis.
Where is it?
To the right.
$1,400.
Wow.
Damn,
it's
dude.
up 0.44%.
No, but it's up like 5% on the week.
That's amazing.
Dude, for gold, that is amazing. That's like $300 billion.
Yeah, it's quite a ride, man. That's quite a ride.
I'm just saying, Will. Damn.
So where's the market cap for AMD?
I'm looking.
$31.4 billion.
Okay, so what's okay? I hold on, time out. I feel like that's a little inflated.
What do you mean?
Because do you want to know why I think that's inflated?
You mean the price of AMD is inflated?
Exactly.
Why? Because of crypto?
First of all, if
AMD.
you really want to get into it, you gotta talk. You have to look at it as balance sheet and
That's a different podcast.
Yeah,
that is a different. That is a different.
We don't talk about stonks on here.
Okay,
dude.
fine. But in 2016, that thing was $1.10, and it's $29.
Yeah, but it went up because of Nvidia, right?
Yeah. And you know why? Because everybody was selling a bunch of that's not happening anymore.
What?
Everybody buying graphics cards
for miners.
Yes.
Well, because they have ASICs,
and that's what saved AMD from getting bought out. If y'all didn't know that fun fact. Yes, it was because everybody was buying those graphics cards to mine Ethereum in 2016.
Yeah.
And I think every listener can agree for that. And it saved NVIDIA too. And that was why.
Let me look at the max chart, Willis. Dude, it's still killing it. It's still crushing it. Whoa.
Yes. So a $31 billion market cap is not accurate in my. Really, that should be at like $8 per share. $7. That thing is not a $30 per share stonk.
What about Nvidia? What do you think about Nvidia?
Same thing. But see, what I like about Nvidia is they put the chips in Tesla cars.
Yeah.
Right? It's right in their. You can look it up yourself. Go to sec.gov and look what they're doing. You can look up everything that Nvidia is doing, and that's what I looked up in 2016. But what saved Nvidia, like the other companies, is Nvidia was saying, it's like, yes, our increased sales are not due to the influx of everybody buying graphics cards, but it's not the truth, and that's why it went down like $100.
Yeah, that's
Nvidia,
true.
Yeah, and so they misrepresented their profits. But when you look at Nvidia, they do $1 billion in R&D each year.
Yeah.
When you're doing $1 billion in R&D, that's the future of chip making, and I'm high on Nvidia no matter the stonk price.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is they're actually diversified as far as like what they produce.
Yeah.
AMD is just like, we make these baller graphics cards, like big deal.
Yeah.
That's shit. That's old news, right? What gives Nvidia its value is it's perceived. Like if Tesla takes off, Nvidia obviously takes off. Which Tesla is arguably
and we all know, and it's not unreasonable, that there's going to be autonomous vehicles in the future. And anybody who doesn't believe that is a fool.
I mean, yeah, it's already
totally
here.
Agree.
It's already here. Will's brother has one. Shit, it's already fucking here.
But see, it's not there in the public side yet.
It's not widely adopted yet. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, if you want to be a stonk investor or a crypto investor, that's your job. Your day-to-day job is to fucking do as much research as you can, just speculate. You sit there and just think in your head of heads what the future is going to look like, basically.
And exactly.
Then you place your bets.
And I'm not giving stock advice or anything, but if you want to look it up for American stocks, go to sec.gov and look at the ticker, because it's all public, what and what not they're going to do. And if you know how to evaluate balance sheets and income statements,
you're way ahead.
Fundamental Finance 101. More people look up like what refrigerator they're going to buy. They spend hours and hours on what refrigerator, what car.
True.
But when it comes to the real things,
they don't do any research.
They do zero research, and that's why they lose in the long run.
That's a good point. People do tons of hours of research on their next phone.
That's true. Yeah.
But when it comes to their investment, zero research.
It's beyond their capabilities, right?
Yeah,
you use the same sources, right?
Khan Academy.
Google. Yeah. Just Google shit. All you gotta do is go down the right rabbit holes, and then you can figure out what to invest in, right? But a lot of people don't have that kind of faith in themselves.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about tokenizing like physical assets, and the one of the digital assets that we kept talking about in the last couple of weeks has been Decentraland, and we wanted to show you, Mitch, kind of like what that looks like. So here's the map and everything. We showed you that we have
a bunch of squares, Will.
Yeah, they're pixels.
I see a bunch of pixels, Will.
but you see the vastness of the world, don't you?
Yeah.
I see I see a lot of squares and a lot of vastness.
But do you understand what each little square represents?
No, please explain it to me,
All right,
please.
well, go ahead.
All right, so each of these squares represents at least a little tiny square like this one represents a parcel. And this parcel is a 16 by 16 meter parcel. And you can build up to like 20 meters high in this piece of land. So the more parcels you have next to each other, like this piece of land here, the higher you can build.
Which is called an estate. Whenever they're like...
There's more than one connected to each other. It's an estate.
Yeah.
So the idea and the premise of Decentraland is to be able to create this virtual world where people can join just with a browser and eventually with a headset and virtual reality, where people can join and kind of see what people build in this virtualized world. Mm-hmm. And so the way that we like to picture Decentraland is sort of a virtualized internet. Just like you can go on the internet and go to Amazon.com, you'll be able to visit the Amazon store in this
showroom, I guess. Yeah.
And you'll be able to buy physical things in this store in this virtual world. So if you need like tires, you go get tires in Decentraland.
So Ready Player One.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's everybody likes to bring that up because
it's the most
that's
visual,
like the most advanced version of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have avatars. You'll have what they call non-fungible tokens, which are NFTs. You can have gear, potentially NFT gear. And the idea would be that you'll be able to earn some type of gear in a different game, let's say Halo, and bring that NFT token into Decentraland and look like Master Chief within the game.
Okay, so sell me on this. What's going to bring hot girl at my bank, throw on a VR headset, and want to go into virtual world and spend money?
You know what? I think a hot girl at your bank might be willing to put on a virtual headset just to experience virtual reality.
I think she'd be more willing to do that than to buy Bitcoin, honestly. I think it's easy because it's visualized.
Yeah.
It's more intuitive.
And once she understands what a crypto kitty is, she's going to be all over that.
That's true. I mean, you don't have to be a gamer to appreciate like the application of this kind of stuff. Obviously, gamers would probably be the first ones to understand it. Dude, like, again, go back to like, wow.
And we all know the demographics of gamers, man.
What's the demographic?
It's heavily male.
Not nowadays.
No, it's still heavily male.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. It is heavily male, but I think
maybe amongst tots. Huh? Toddlers,
yeah,
young
that's what I'm
people.
saying. I think
I'm talking about people our age in their late 20s.
Yeah.
There are no women my age playing video games. And if I told these girls, like, look, I have original Pokemon base set cards in a PSA sleeve. And when I show them that, they're like, you are a fucking child, sir.
Yeah, that's not hot, is it?
Look. All right, I'm going to go on. There is not one abidden girl that said, it's like, look at my PSA 9 Charizard girl.
But you want to know why? Because that's Charizard is not a good example because there actually is value to that card.
Yes, there is. And there's a lot of value to Charizard.
But the reason why this shit matters is because there's actual value to everything you're accruing in Decentraland. All of a sudden, that shit's hot. Like, if you have like a hot, cool NFT car in Decentraland, that shit might be worth like 10, 20, 30 grand.
Well, not only that, I don't think the premise of Decentraland is to attract hot girls to the game. I mean,
I think his point is
that wasn't on the white paper, at least. I can tell.
It's like
when Mr. Super, have you seen Vitalik? Do you think he attracts women? Dude, that guy's motherfucking Money Skelly. There's a reason why he's called Money Skelly, man. That guy looks like he's a skeleton, but he's a Money Skelly.
Yeah, but you don't think he's getting girls though?
Does he?
He is.
Does he get girls or boys?
He's Mr. Ethereum.
He's Mr. Ethereum, but I'm sure I don't know. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, but
I mean, he get girls or boys? In 2019, it doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't. I'm equal opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's still Pride Month, so yeah, it doesn't really matter which one he gets.
But he's getting something. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because he's wealthy.
Well,
exactly.
That's what all you need is wealth, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not all you need, but that definitely gives you a leg up.
Okay, but if you're only after hot girls, what do you need the most?
Game.
And
game.
Wealth.
No, it's just straight up game.
As far as what do you mean? If you're after like what?
If you want to get that smash in,
if you want to get that smash in, if you're like a total Chad.
I'm not saying if you have a good mouthpiece, all it takes is game, man.
I totally agree. But
you got to be a total Chad.
But if you have,
makes things easier.
I'm not a Chad.
But if you have the assets, then
makes things easier.
It makes it easier. Well, that's the point.
You never seen that video? Like, there's squares to it. Nobody has everything, but if you're total Chad, like you're genetically gifted, you're gonna get the hot girl.
Yeah.
If you don't have those genetic gifts,
but you got the
money, you're gonna get the hot girl too.
Or game.
Yeah, then there's another square.
Yeah.
You got neither of the two. Somehow you're just fucking.
You have a mouthpiece on you.
You got the gift of gab, dude. Yeah. You could somehow brainwash a hot chick to spend some time with you.
It's not even brainwash. It's like, dude, has anybody ever seen The Bachelor?
No,
hell no.
Bachelorette. No. Well, I was watching The Bachelorette and I was watching this total Chad, and the Bachelorette was upset, and she's like, "Oh, I'm upset over these guys," and I was telling the people who was watching me. That was watching The Bachelorette, and I was like, I know exactly what this guy is going to say. And so they put it on pause. Okay. And there's like, what is he going to say? And they're going to be like, don't worry about those distractions, baby. It's just you and me. And The Bachelor, the fucking Chad said the same thing. And I was like, that's game. That's what it is. And
but it worked because he's a Chad.
Yeah, well, it works for me too. I'm not a Chad, but it's the smoothness. It's the delivery.
Yeah, now we got to test this out.
I am under 6 foot tall. I am under 6 foot tall, and I can pull this off.
It's true.
There's hope for all of us.
It's true. Yeah, you don't want to categorize like.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, even in this Decentraland world, if you're making a ton of money, I don't think you're going to attract hot girls to get into this game. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's the point.
Look, I'm all about the money, but let's go back to what I was saying earlier. Is this going to work out in an economic recession, which blockchain hasn't seen yet?
Well, but this has nothing to do with that.
Yes, it does, because it's a strong core argument. Because you don't believe the values of those that the central land could go down.
Well, I mean, we just came back from like a bear market, so that's sort of like a pseudo.
Was it a bear market?
Was it not
crypto?
And
crypto.
Yeah, crypto. Yeah.
I don't think we were in a true bear market though.
No. Bear market, no, but bear market in the crypto.
I feel like stocks and crypto are correlated in a way.
Yeah, right? I think so.
And an economy affects that, because if the economy is going well, more people across the world have more money to put.
No, I agree. I don't think it was a coincidence. The S&P 500 was at an all-time high when Bitcoin
it goes
was
up, right? So if cryptos go down, wouldn't the central land go down? If the economy goes down, wouldn't people be pulling out?
No, actually. I can actually tell you what happened to the price of these parcels during the bear market. Because this project came out
2017
during the peak of the bull market. Yeah. And these lands were distributed, or they were up for sale, up for grabs during when everybody's crypto rich, right? And then they were still out there in this ecosystem throughout the entire bear market cycle, which was about a year. 2018, basically. Mm-hmm. And if you could look at the land history, look at the auction value compared to what it is today. Just click on any parcel. What did it sell for at auction a year ago? Scroll down. Okay, over a year ago, 1,250 mana. Mm-hmm. What's it for sale for today?
For this little parcel.
What's it for sale today? Oh, it's not even for sale.
Yeah. So we can click on this one.
1,000 mana a year ago. It's for sale 18,000 today. But we had an 18x.
But we didn't have an economic recession.
Yeah, I know. But
a year
I'm
ago.
talking about crypto market.
No, but that is correlated.
No, because you
can't buy your groceries with Ethereum. You can't buy your groceries with Bitcoin. And that's what I'm saying. If there's an economic downturn, then everybody's going to liquidate.
That's true.
Liquidate. And it's going to happen across the board, not just in the central land. I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that all depends on the severity of how bad this depression or recession,
and I think it's going to be a pretty decent one.
The last one was decent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened to the price? That was a real estate bubble, so of course the price of land devalued. But you're saying, like, in a true recession, you think the cryptos are going down?
I think everything's going down, not just cryptos.
Yeah, everything. Everyone's going to be pulling their money out of anything speculative for like real hard assets.
Yes, into cash, especially.
Cash,
Yes.
To survive, essentially. And like,
exactly.
wait out the next...
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody a year ago at a friend of ours' wedding, and they were talking about 2007, 2008. And they're asking me, hey, Mitch, what can we put our money in? And I was like, I'm not an economic advisor, but I would put it into fixed monies right now today if you're at the end of your life, if you're in your retirement, to account for economic risk.
So, like fixed cash would be fiat currencies, which
or bonds
inflate by 3%. So you're still losing money, but not at the rate.
Not exactly. If you do it on a 1 or 3 year basis,
well, you lose 3% per year.
No, we last year we went up 2.35%.
So it deflated last year.
No, we inflated last year by 2.35%.
Okay, so you're
2.15%.
So you're losing 2.5% in value.
In terms of investing into what?
In cash. So if you pull out of the market,
I was saying invest into bonds or into treasuries.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're talking about 2.5% interest.
Yes, like you want to maintain your dollars
for sure
over time, and I said this is the safest way to do it
because it basically cancels out inflation if you hold on to those assets.
That's right. Because it goes up.
Yeah, the same rate as and the other way goes down. Cash goes down.
And so
it's safe. I mean, that's the safe thing to do, and I think that's what people do.
They're at the end of their lives. We're young men. We could do whatever the F we want. We still have a lot of working years. This is different.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure if you're 70 and you're listening to this, man, just open Pornhub and just rub one out and just call it a day.
Call it a day.
This is for young men.
Yeah. No, not necessarily. You still have children and grandchildren to think about. You have a legacy.
Do we have 10-year-olds on the podcast? Say yay. Let's play some Minecraft.
Yeah,
we can in Decentraland.
Yeah,
and then that segues into what we're building.
Well, so economy aside and markets aside, I think independently, Decentraland has its own value. Even if you're a big gamer, you can see the value in Decentraland and the fact that you'll be the owner of these assets. And unlike Diablo or World of Warcraft.
Let's talk about WoW, dude. Remember those days?
Look, man, don't hate on World of Warcraft.
Well, nobody's hating on World of Warcraft.
I'm just saying, remember those days? Dude, remember how hard it was to get my full Bloodfang set or your full tier 2 set?
Yes, I spent a lot of hours.
A lot, right?
A lot of hours.
Like, imagine, and you recognize the value in those hours you spent, right? Imagine how many people on the server didn't have what we had.
A lot.
Probably like the majority, right? Like we were in like the top tier rating guild.
We were the top 3% for sure.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that shit should have value. I mean, we have legit sweat equity.
And it did have value when I sold my account.
You sold your account?
I did.
What? I don't remember that.
How much was your account worth?
But yeah, it did.
It was worth an X amount of money, Will.
Like how many X's?
A few.
Like 5 X's or 6 X's?
No, it wasn't. It was worth at least
3 X's?
X and a comma.
Okay.
So it was like
4 X's.
It's maybe like $1,000. It's probably like $1,000.
Reasonable.
See, so the point here is that, that had value, but if it was tokenized, it would have more value because it's a real asset.
And what he means by tokenized is like it has a unique ID, that you own, and it's stored on the
blockchain.
Let me see what Decentraland can do. Let me see in real time.
Well, so this land hasn't launched yet. It's going to launch beta sometime at the end of this month, early next month potentially. But the idea here is that you can build whatever you want. If you're a developer, you can build your own place, your own monetization strategy within this parcel.
Whatever you dream,
whatever you can think of. Yeah. And so this is what we have going for our plot of land. And let me refresh this.
Dude, how long has that been running?
It's been
I just got a seizure.
Yeah,
just had a seizure. All right, I'm in it. I'm in the world. Let's. Oh,
you like that song, dude?
I like that.
That song is badass.
Whoa, what is this?
Dude, look at that.
This is the game.
What does that
say? Why is there bangs?
He's losing every time there's a bang.
I feel like I'm in 1980s Terminator.
Exactly. It's perfect.
That's sort of the point.
The song is the best part of this.
Wait, what are we doing? Whoa, what are we doing?
We're conquering
jumping
blocks.
blocks?
Yeah. So Iron Man, you want to explain the mechanics of this game?
Well, the mechanics are pretty self-explainable. There's a wall that spawns probably like every 3 seconds, and then your objective is to avoid getting run over by this wall. See, Will just stepped out of bounds. He fucked himself.
Will, you suck at your own game.
Yeah, when you step out of bounds, or if for some reason you're just super uncoordinated, and the super slow moving wall knocks you out of bounds, then you lose the game, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what the objective is to get the highest score into Central Land.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And we'll explain what you win.
So the idea is that on the first week of launch, what we're going to do is have people play for free. And the person that gets the highest the leaderboard is the highest in the leaderboard, they would win $100 worth of cryptocurrency.
Very nice.
In this case, mana.
So this sets the pool, basically.
So mana is the cryptocurrency of Decentraland. So once that is done, then we'll have people spend mana in order to beat the leader. And so the more that people spend in mana, the higher the pot of the game goes. So the point of the game is to be the leader in the leaderboards.
Look. Well, that sounds all great and all, but I talked to Iron Man and he said the business that we need to get into is booze, strippers, or gambling. When is that happening?
So this is sort of
all of which is possible in Decentraland.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So which one am I going to invest in?
Well, this isn't like much. This is just.
This is like
it's a beta, but I want to. Okay, look, you're saying this is the next Ready Player One.
No,
I want to be in the business of booze, stripper, or gambling.
Think of this related to the Flappy Bird game. Remember that game?
Flappy Bird, yes. Very
Remember how
nice.
addictive and silly that game? I mean, all I do is spam spacebar, right?
I played it 2 times, but yeah.
But you get it, right? It's a super simple concept.
I was a Flappy Bird.
But people were hooked on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Hook.
Yep.
For normies.
So the objective is to build an addictive type game, but have an actual real world incentive to keep on participating, right?
Right.
That's the whole point. And only reason that's possible is because of blockchain.
Blockchain's a fabulous thing, ladies and gentlemen.
And by the way, there's going to be hundreds of people on this course simultaneously. It's not just you playing by yourself.
Yeah. The idea would be that a lot of people would try to win the leader or try to be the leader, and all of them are going to lose. So we would get, the mana.
I like it.
So that's and let me show you this. So this is what one parcel looks like. Let me click on this again.
Yeah,
so from this white line over to this white line, this square here, that is one parcel. And so this is a 2x2 parcel.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And so imagine now when you're in the Decentraland world, you'll be able to walk around to all the different parcels that people own and do something, in their parcel. Like in our parcel, you'll be able to do this. But what is everyone else's going to look like?
I mean, you don't have to try and monetize it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
It could just be a place for you and your friends to hang out, right? You can all chip in on a piece of property, a piece of land in Decentraland, and just build a house.
Yeah.
And within this house, you could have a little TV screen on the wall where it's showing football.
Yeah.
I could see the potential.
Yeah, on a Sunday, let's say everybody wants to just slap on their fucking headsets or whatever, like we do when we're playing a video game. So we're just all watching fucking football and just chilling.
Yep.
That's the possibility. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the game will launch at the end of this month, and we'll be able to see kind of what the world actually looks like. And then if you have a virtual reality headset, potentially you'll be able to use it.
But not yet.
Maybe not yet.
The developer of Decentraland said, I don't even know if is it capable or if you have it or no.
I don't know. I would think so.
Yeah, we'll find out. Once we signed up for early beta access.
Yeah, we did.
So we should have more information in the coming weeks, how everything is going to roll out.
Yep.
For sure. So we'll keep you guys informed.
So yeah, we
have more ideas for games too, for sure. And like I said, ultimately, if you're listening to this, you're a loyal listener, we have ultimate plans to have like a virtual studio within this world. I don't know if we ever talked about that.
Yeah, so the virtual studio will be able to do a live podcast within Decentraland.
Whoa.
So essentially it'll be like us three with our own little stupid avatars. We'll be on just a setup just like this. And if you're a listener, you can come here. You could throw tomatoes at us. If you don't like us, you could throw hearts at us if you like us. Or you just be a pure, true gent and just sit politely in the fucking audience, just listen to us yap.
Yeah, ask questions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's the whole point. Or you can just talk to us. Yeah, if you have a mic of your own, you'd be like, hey, listen to me. Like, I have a question.
That's pretty
like
cool.
that.
I'm open to debate. Please change my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, we're fucking talking to somebody in the audience, right?
Yeah.
You never know. That's cool.
So yeah. So what do you think of Decentraland? How does it compare to like?
Would you purchase mana if you were like?
I wouldn't. Like I said, I need to see the potential. It looks like Minecraft 2.0.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's able to monetize. Am I hot on it? Yes and no. I'm hot and I'm cold. Would I invest in it today if I had a pool? Yes, to buy a nice plot of land.
Yeah.
Just because I like to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, it's never a gamble.
Oh,
damn.
That game, man.
Did you hear that, ladies?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's interesting. Nobody knows like what the potential this has, but that's what speculation is, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then you can toss this around. Did you know that?
No, I never actually fucking fiddled with the website before. Dude, those little robots look pretty dope.
Yeah.
I like those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, let's, dude. Now it's just you and me. Fucking market, man.
Yeah, dude.
You've been like,
I've been bullish on this since.
This is the first time like you got like a true taste of like what's the word? Like euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoric price movement in Bitcoin.
I would say so. I to me, I kind of predicted this since day one, man.
But not this quick.
Not this quick. No, absolutely not. I did not think we were going to see $10,000 in 2019. Hell no.
I thought it'd be like 14 to 16K by the end of the by the halvening.
By the halvening, yeah.
Which is like this time next year.
Exactly.
Dude, it could fucking happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like literally like you could just go straight parabolic and hit 14, 15K.
Yeah, I mean, you saw my trend lines. They're practically vertical and it's following that trend line.
I legit had a fucking I went to nap. I took a nap today and I fucking had a dream like Bitcoin was at 15,000, 16,000. And like I felt so real, dude. Like it was crazy.
So I heard this guy talking about whether or not to go in now that it's $10,000, and he says if you go in right now, you're gonna lose money. You're gonna lose more money if you don't go in now, versus going in now and it going down to $8,000, because potentially it might go to $15,000 in a month or two.
Of course, like the upside's higher than the downside.
Exactly.
But so the risk is too high at this point.
Yeah, I mean, common sense would say,
I told everyone this when it was like at 7,000-8,000. I said you don't want to buy an asset when it's like
at the top
going parabolic it's been on like a multi-month heater, right?
True. But what's the lowest price we'll see it now? I mean, what, $7,000 seems kind of unlikely.
It's unknown. If we knew the price,
like the future price,
be rich.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Is that if you buy in now, it is better to buy in now, even though it might go down to what, 8,000, 7,000.
It might go down to 2.
It seems unlikely.
If you're a bear,
but that's what Mr. 20,000 guy said. I'm not a bear or a bull. I'm just saying. And I'm sticking to my original.
No, of course,
hypothesis.
Yeah, but it could go down to 2,000, right? But what happens at 2,000? Everybody buys Bitcoin at 2,000.
Do they? Is there a floor?
What are you gonna do, Iron Man? At $2,000?
I mean, I was willing to go all in at 6. So at 2, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Shit, I'd buy on the way down, all the way.
My thinking is, okay, what's driving this market right now? We've already established there's like no retail involvement in this. And if you go back to 2017, at these prices, it was all driven retail.
Didn't we watch a video of a bunch of Chinese people buying Bitcoin at the same time?
Yeah, we showed that, or not showed it, but we
talked about it. Did y'all talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been the same. So there's a bunch of Chinese people who own.
Yeah, but the market added like $30 billion within the last day.
Yeah, exactly. So if I was Chinese.
Yeah, but in this case, this is like, what, 50 people in a room?
Yeah, I think they're more likely to pump like a shit coin than Bitcoin itself.
But see, the thing is, nothing has changed fundamentally. What, Lightning Network?
Yeah, the
Lightning Network is being implemented. Like, talked about Lightning Network.
I don't see it in the mainstream. I don't see it.
Well, exactly. So what's driving this price up and everybody's been talking for years since we've been involved, is like institution involvement. Eventually the institutions are going to sneak their way into the market.
Yeah.
And they're going to load up their bags before the next cycle. That could be literally what we're witnessing
I don't think that's what's happening, because it would be public knowledge. You just can't start buying an asset without displaying. Well, at least
disclosing
in the States, yes.
Yeah.
Who can't?
Anybody. Yes.
Public corporations, potentially, yeah.
Of course. That's pretty standard in the industry.
But there's tons of funds that are crypto related nowadays. Dude, the market cap's not in the trillions or anything, dude. We're still sitting at 300 billion. It's not that hard to move the price of Bitcoin.
Like, whether 300 billion is a lot of money, whether you want to paint it or...
Yeah, but daily...
Yeah, but worldwide, it's not a lot of money.
It's global, and then like daily actual volume is like less than 10% of 300. So it's like, what?
30 billion?
30 billion.
Yeah.
Globally.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Worldwide compared to who? Compared to the United States, China, worldwide, 300 billion compared to some little Smojo countries, a lot of money. $300 billion compared to, we're talking about
market influencers compared to the United States, compared to Europe, or compared to China. $300 billion is nothing.
Yeah, like what kickstarted this whole run was $100 million transaction.
Yeah.
From they found this out.
That doesn't make me feel even more peachy.
It's true.
Yeah, but if you're a speculator,
that doesn't make me feel good.
No, but if you're a speculator, it should make you feel really good because you're in early.
Are we in early?
Yeah, I think we are in.
I believe so. Even after 10 years.
Yeah,
but there's been nothing to show me that this is going to be. We need more adoption.
And I think adoption comes once.
And you know where all the money is? It's in these.
It's all right. It's all right.
Whoa. And where all the money comes from, at least in the States, are from these 401ks, and I don't see any of these large 401ks investing into Bitcoin.
Not yet.
Once they do that,
Fidelity, you can do crypto and Fidelity. Mm-hmm. You can invest your 401k in Fidelity.
But like I'm saying, it's like the BBVA thing. It's all hype.
Yeah, but what do you expect? I mean, this is still the beginning. Like, do you want like $1 trillion market already and then speculate on that?
Well, if it did, it could.
Well, yeah, it could, but we're on our way there, right?
But it's like if you wanted to apply just normal investment strategies, right?
Right.
Which you don't do to crypto.
Yes.
Well, not yet, but if you wanted to become real, you have to at some point in time.
Yeah, but so what are you saying? Not to invest?
It doesn't produce anything, right? Like it's not like a farm. You can't get wheat, and the farmer doesn't pay you.
So what does gold get you?
It's the same thing, but gold you can actually hold in your hand. And I don't think we have came far enough in the crypto community. Yeah, as widespread. Because look, like I said, I talked to experts about the bank, and they all look at me like I'm like blockchain.
You're talking to old people,
but see, like old people, young people, they all look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yes, I like Bitcoin. They're like, no, you're ridiculous. So what do people
that are into blockchain look at you? How do they look at you?
They like it.
Right?
We touch each other.
Those are the only people.
We touch each other. Dude, okay. So imagine trying to explain the internet. I've showed you that video, like people trying to explain the internet.
And that's
see
fine.
The correlations,
that's fine
right?
and dandy, but there's not money involved in the internet.
There was money involved.
It was just information. Right. The internet was good at spreading information.
Yeah, but now blockchain is good for spreading money.
This is something with the internet.
Yeah, but imagine if you invested in Amazon.
Internet within internet.
Imagine you invested in Amazon in 1999 when they were making not a single penny.
Yeah.
But they had the roadmap, the concept, the vision that eventually the internet would be so ubiquitous in our society that like everyone's going to buy everything.
That's right.
Through our platform. That's what we're doing today.
And Amazon survived economic recession.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But they also took a hit too.
Yeah, everybody took a hit.
Right?
There was nobody who didn't take a hit.
So cryptocurrencies are going to take a hit in an economic recession, but that doesn't mean anything.
So when we're talking about 10 grand, wouldn't it be more...
So if you had 10 grand, where would you put it right now today? Well, you had to spend it today in an investment. Where would you put it?
Not in the stock market.
Okay, well,
not in the crypto market.
Okay, but where?
In a short-term bond in 3 years or less, maybe at 5%.
So that in 3 years you would have what?
Whatever 5%. Yeah, whatever less than that. Whatever 5% of like 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5.
Or you can buy short-term,
and that's only because
you can buy a year.
You're predicting a downturn in the economy, right?
I'm not predicting that. Economists are.
I'm not. You agree?
Yeah, but you agree.
I agree with them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a strategy. I mean,
if you're a true believer that like shit's about to hit the fan, I don't think you're wrong in assuming like all asset classes are gonna underperform.
Yeah,
take your money out of the game and like go hide in the woods for a few years and shit. That's not a bad idea. Wait, weather out the storm, right?
I can't hide in the woods. It's the thing.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Financially, market-wise, you're hiding.
Just weather out the storm, right?
Yeah.
Holding cash or dollars or like I would hold in short term 1 year, less than 5, nothing more than 5 years.
Yeah. No, it's good getting these perspectives because we're very bullish on crypto.
It's true,
but it's not impervious to the market effects of like a downturn in the economy.
But I think it's important to also note, like if everybody agreed with us, the market cap would be like $10 trillion.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we need people to disagree with us. That's why they call it smart money accumulation during times where everyone's laughing at your investment. Right, that's the whole point.
That's right.
This is how wealth gets created.
Yeah.
You take these risks. Like I said, the people who invested in early internet technology, they reap the rewards. They're sitting pretty today.
I remember before 2009, I remember thinking, I just graduated college and thinking, man, had I lived through the internet bubble, the internet boom, man, I would have participated and been a millionaire like all those other guys. But we missed it. So. We missed it because, I was a kid growing up.
Well, yeah, we didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't. But now we do. Imagine 20 years from now, Mitch, your kid is like, hey, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
What's up with you being around when Bitcoin was $10,000 and you didn't get a single one? Like, why? And today, Mitch, it's $1.5 million for one Bitcoin. You couldn't spend a measly $10,500 for one Bitcoin at that day?
Depending on what the true value is, I'd be like, son.
The true value is $1.5 million in this scenario.
So in this scenario, it's gone up.
Yeah,
like, I know what the future is, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Amazon.
So I would have stuck my money elsewhere.
You would have.
I am sticking my money elsewhere currently, not in Bitcoin.
Well, but in this,
but it went up over time as well. So that's a tough question, because you
don't
can't
ever like think to yourself, like when your parents, you never asked them that question, like what were y'all doing in the late 90s, early 2000s? Like
they were struggling like every other American.
Yeah, that's what my parents were doing too. That's what
exactly.
They say. But we're not struggling, dude. We're the generation where like we can pay attention to this stuff.
I'm kind of struggling. I just can't just buy a piece of
bullshit. Dude. You're totally aware of this.
Yeah.
You're actually you were a participant in this market before a lot of people were.
Yeah.
So now you're just dismissing it entirely because
we're talking about crypto. So I didn't. Okay. So in a hypothetical sense, 20 years from now, Bitcoin's at $1 million. I'd be like, son, I bet a Bitcoin on March Madness game.
That's true. You can just tell the truth.
That's exactly what happened, and I lost.
You know what? He'll respect you.
Tech was up 5 points with 30 seconds left, and I had a spread of 7, and they managed to cover the spread by 22. What do you want me to do, son?
You know what? If my dad told me that, I'd be like, that's respect.
You know what? Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Dad, shit.
It's like, hey man, you were swinging for the fence and you didn't get the home run. That's fine. Yeah. At least I know you tried.
Yeah. I had Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good answer.
Yes.
But a lot of people won't even be able to say that.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, you know what?
I just didn't. Bullshit. Yeah, I thought it was bullshit. I didn't redo research. I should have put at least $1,000 in.
But yeah, Mitch is right. The reason our parents didn't get involved in the stock market, they didn't have the
means.
They probably had the means.
No, they didn't. Well, okay, maybe
just to get involved a little bit.
Okay, maybe they had the means, but they didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Yeah,
well, that's the point.
Still don't know what the fuck.
Yes, exactly.
All of our parents still don't know what the fuck.
A lot of people still don't, and it's been around for 100 years.
Yeah, stocks. Yeah. It is kind of a daunting thing. At first, when I was in school, I always had the desire to learn about what stocks are and shit, because I know that's how people got rich. That's what I learned.
Well, yeah, that's when the boom was in 1999. I remember the teacher showing me, he's like, look at Morningstar.
Yeah.
There's this thing. Everybody's getting rich off of stocks. It's 1999. You're in 5th grade. You're 11 years old.
Yeah.
And so now I tell people, it's like, Bitcoin's a good investment. It's like, where is it on the blockchain?
Yeah, this is the thing.
And then I look at them, with my eyes. I'm like, blockchain? And it's like, where's the blockchain? On the internet. But you can't see it, though.
But you can't see it, though.
It's digital.
Yeah. I know. But you got to agree,
that's why we always say you got to do your research. Like, no one should ever put any money in Bitcoin unless you know what you're doing.
Okay, yeah. And then it goes back to Hot Girl A, and she was like, and I remember I told her this crazy story about Iman and success, the crypto market.
Oh,
and she's like, she's like, I know about the blockchain, Mitch. I was like, oh, do you own any assets in the blockchain? No. And then that was the end of the conversation, and I didn't speak to her for a year.
So, are you looking for girls that understand blockchain? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm not looking for women. Dude, the blockchain, that's like the worst. It's like, hey, baby.
But why do you question them about blockchain? What does that have to do with Well,
because I'm talking about normal folk and gaining adoption, because nothing's going to gain. The stock market has adoption. I could talk the same Hot Girl A as you know what? AMD is going up and up.
And she's going to understand what that means?
And she'll just buy into it. She doesn't need to know what it means. She just knows she trusts in the stock market.
Yeah, because stocks are way more easier to comprehend. You're buying shares in a company.
So
that's fucking revolutionary shit right there. Come on.
Okay, but if you're in the stock market and it was 90 years ago, you're explaining stocks.
Yes,
So is it easier to understand stocks than it is crypto?
Well, you know what? Some really smart guy wrote an epic book. I'm not saying some smart guy's writing an epic book about it now, but some smart dude wrote an epic book, and everybody could find it today, and you're like, yeah, it's good stuff. That's good stuff. And I got hot to it a few times, actually. It still applies today, though. It's good stuff.
Money market economics?
No, it was some dude who went to, like I said, it was some dude who went to Cornell. You might have heard of him. His name was Benjamin Graham, the guy who mentored
Warren Buffett.
Yes.
And the other guy, I forget his other guy's name.
I don't remember the other guy. He's old. He's dead.
No, he's not dead. It's Warren Buffett's
I'm not talking about that guy. I know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know. Another old guy, dude. Old as fuck.
Yeah.
He's old.
You might be talking about
a little crusty.
Yeah. Okay. So the point of that is, those guys, they got in early in their field. Their space was stocks.
But it was different though. There was producing, you can look at the financial statements.
Yeah.
That was there since the beginning. There's no financials in the Bitcoin.
But there's people that have success in this crypto market. They have their own parameters and their own analytics to come up with the next big thing, right? And they're successful at it.
And there's a book about that. No matter what equity or what commodity you're talking about, it's called A Random Walk on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the stock market had to deal with in terms of regulation back, 100 years ago.
Yeah, 100 years ago. That's how the Kennedys got rich. That's how the Bushes got rich.
Mm-hmm.
That's how some of the most powerful people in America got rich today, is because they insider traded,
right?
And they had
Pumps
to
and
change,
dumps.
and they had to change the rules.
Yeah,
because the people who had the most, it's like, oh, dude, shit's gonna hit the fan. It's like, well, better sell now.
That's right.
Wealthy people.
Yep.
Today, 100 years later, rigged.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's what happens in crypto.
Fuck yeah, for sure.
Because it's worldwide, man. I mean,
there's world groups. It's easily manipulated.
Yeah,
like
for
we
sure.
said, we saw that.
No regulation, no accountability.
And the market is so small right now.
Yeah,
it's just so easy to fuck with.
That's why if, obviously we never give investment advice, but
nope.
If you ever invest, you only invest what you can afford to lose. And that's that. After doing research, of course.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
So is this the time where we talk about aliens?
We can.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, what would you discover?
Have you seen one? Did one abduct you?
Actually, you know what? I haven't seen an alien spacecraft. Not gonna lie.
You have seen one?
Yes.
Well, you think you saw one.
No, I did.
What?
You did?
Yes.
Did you take any evidence of this?
You know what? I wish I did, but I was 2006, and even if I did have
That's before the iPhone.
If I did have cell phone evidence, it would have been really grainy.
Yeah, true.
And
been
but
on one of those Nokia
I wasn't.
cubes.
It was on a flip phone for sure, or like one of those ones where you can flip up and type on the keypad.
Oh, the Razor or something.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been good. So no matter what, it wouldn't have happened. But to
What
sum
did you
it up,
see? Yeah.
it looked like the spaceship, like in terms of visuals, it was going really slow. It was low flying. I was arguing with my girlfriend at the time, and she saw it first, and her mouth was wide open. And I was like, "What are you looking at?" And I was so mad, and I turned and I saw it too. And I mean, if you ever seen the movie Predator, when he's like all invisible and stuff, you can see like his outline, but you can't really see it. Well, that's how I saw the spaceship, and you can see its outline, but you couldn't really see it.
Was it daytime or nighttime?
It was night.
How close was it to you? Like, was it
had
like
to be
in the far, like...
No, like you could see, like, first of all, it had to be pretty big, but it flew by.
So was it like far away or?
I don't like it. It's, I'm trying to visualize it like through an X and Y axis.
Nothing that I know that exists today is like, as far as like our country's technology, like with aerial spacecrafts. I've never heard of anything that looks invisible.
But
right?
you know what? Not to be all weird here, there was a guy who called the the George Norrie show. Was it Space Ghost? No, it's not Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It's
some of that like nighttime radio show.
Yeah,
where they call it like weird ass shit.
So it was like 1995, and this guy called in, and he's like aliens, and you can YouTube this, right? And he's like, they're triangling my position. And today, it's widely known that the federal government can triangulate your position based off your cell phone. You're just calling off a cell phone back in the day. 20 years, shoot.
Yeah,
1995. That was more than 20 years ago. Would that be so far-fetched when GPS was created in the 80s, the 70s, the 80s?
Isn't that the speculation? Like what? Like Area 51, they've captured or they retrieved like a crashed UFO or something in Nevada, and then they put it in this classified site, and then that's how we're getting all this technology from. We're just like reverse engineering all their shit.
Could you understand it back in the day? That's the thing. It's not too far-fetched to believe that. The universe is vast. It
is far-fetched in a sense that, I mean, fucking aliens, it's unproven shit. It's like believing in Bigfoot, right?
Well, not only that, there's billion trillion planets hovering around suns that look like ours.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying it's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched. But is it what's far-fetched is have they visited Earth out of those billion trillion planets?
That somehow the government was able to hide that from the rest of us?
It's anything happened. Is it far-fetched that some dude wins the lottery 1 out of 300 million chance? Yeah, but it happens, doesn't it?
It does. But 1 in 300 million is different than 1 in 100 billion trillion.
Well, show me the numbers, and I'm sure it's happened.
I don't know if there is.
We've been around for a long time. long enough.
Well, we've been around for 100,000 years, so
Maybe.
I don't know if that's long enough.
Maybe not.
Longer than 100,000 years?
I think so.
Based on what? The science tells us that's how long
It's
we've been around.
100,000, yeah.
It's like science. I don't know, man.
No, I mean, I would be happy to see the day where we come in contact with aliens.
I
That's
would
for sure.
not be for an affirmative if everybody's hiding it, which is probably may or not be true. Maybe we found old technology that crash landed here, right?
Yeah.
If we found, I think if we really came into contact with aliens, we would get wiped out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or nobody would be able to keep that secret.
Yeah, I'm in the camp that like if there is something so much more intelligent than us that they could fucking travel the universe and
Yeah.
shit, and like they wouldn't just come in and like beep 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 beep
Yeah.
beep, like float around our fucking atmosphere and shit,
agree.
and like make contact with us.
They wouldn't
dude.
want to annihilate us.
Either that, or they would just like they would have created us, and they're just like watching us from afar.
It's like
you
the
know?
Matrix, right? And it's like humans are a cancer.
Did he
And
say
they-
that?
yes.
he did say that. That's right.
Agent Smith.
Mhm.
And if you look at it from above, yeah, we do look like a cancer.
That's why, we look like bacterial colonies.
Exactly.
Like every little concentration of like cities. If you look
Yeah.
at a petri dish, like if you just like try and grow bacteria, they form these nice little colonies in like little
True,
sections.
true.
That's exactly what humanity does.
Well, even Elon says that he thinks that we're part of a simulation,
Yeah.
but it's because of probability and not because of anything else.
Yeah, he's like no real proof of it, right? I've heard
Yeah,
like a
no.
physicist say like there's actual code in like our DNA that looks like computer code or something like that. That's what he said. But I mean,
Dude, that would
who
be
the
pretty
fuck's
wild.
Who's gonna verify against that guy? Like I can't analyze
Yeah.
DNA and say he's right or wrong. I just gotta take his freaking creepy word for it, right?
Well, the structure of the
Creepy.
DNA, the structure of the
Sweet
DNA
shit.
holds information, so I
I
can
know.
see that being as pseudocode. But
Well, it's definitely code. It's genetic code.
Yeah,
There's
it's
like
genetic
4
code.
letters in that code, right?
right,
AGTC or whatever the fuck.
yeah,
So it's like there's a code that for sure you can copy and replicate and
Correct.
you
Right.
know, it's just decipherable and shit nowadays, especially now. They have all these tests. You can see what kind of diseases you're predisposed to and stuff.
that's right, that's right.
It's pretty hot stuff.
Yeah, I think with the amount of planets out there, I'm sure there's more intelligent life. I don't think they visited Earth at all.
No?
Yeah, that's where I would put my money. You know, if I had to put it somewhere, I don't think they visited Earth at all.
I think there had to be.
Based on like speculation or
Well, he said he saw something, so there's that.
yeah.
But
Okay.
again, Occam's razor, right?
Yeah.
It's more likely to just been like
The
something.
easiest explanation tends to be the right one.
Yeah. The hardest one to justify is like a fucking alien, I feel like.
Ancient aliens. I'm just kidding. No ancient alien
You know,
theory.
that's funny you bring that up. The History Channel has been this huge, like it's supposed to be about like actual science, but it's not.
It tracks viewers.
Yeah, I mean that's
TV
the point.
nowadays, they're desperate for fucking views, dude. They're
Yeah.
losing so hard,
They are.
like so fucking hard.
Well, look, man, I'm not a crazy man, and I'm gonna stick by this for the rest of my life. I did see what I see.
No, I don't think anyone's
And-
challenging you on that. It's hard to disprove that.
And unless it's some American cool spacecraft, I mean, like freaking fighter jet, that would actually be more frightening.
yeah.
You know, I would be very scared of that. Like if they could just stealth themselves like that and make them look like they have backflipping robots. You
Yeah.
know, today I'm frightened.
Yeah.
Killer robots.
Have you seen the video where the robot fights back?
I linked that in our little group chat. I don't think anybody fucking looked at it
Wait,
though.
what happened?
Oh, you haven't seen it? Let me
No,
see. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Dude, I'm starting to get hungry again. Shit.
All right, we're gonna make something.
This is the part. Oh shit.
You've seen this, right?
Yeah.
Right on it.
All right, so we got two
Dude, they
guys
look
following
like
a robot.
they're getting really rapey with that robot.
So a human and a robot are tossing a box. Here comes another guy behind the robot. Picks him down.
It doesn't look like he's hitting him that hard to kill him, though.
I don't think he wants to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it probably costs $1 million.
Look at that balance, though. So now it's receiving.
Why is it always a hockey stick? Poor robot, dude. No wonder they're going to murder us in the future.
Exactly. Fuck yeah,
They're
dude.
going to see this video and it's like, look at these humans beating the shit. Dude, he hit him with the chair. Oh my God. Dude, I'm going to die at 6 years old by some fucking robot. Sex robot. Oh my God, dude. Stop it.
You feel bad for it, don't you?
No, like I'm going to get murdered because of this video. It's only a matter of time. Like, fuck the aliens, dude. The robots are real. They're happening now. That's the next evolutionary thing.
How's he spraying?
I don't know.
So I can blind it.
Dude, they're torturing the robot.
This is so stupid.
They're whipping the robot.
I don't like this,
to a
dude.
fetish
I'm
video,
kind of,
dude.
yeah.
Like whipping this.
I'm really upset. Oh my God! He shot at him. Why? Dude, I'm gonna get murdered because of this in the future, you motherfuckers. I don't even know who these guys are. Thank you in advance. Look what they're doing, this poor guy.
Now they're playing keep away.
Oh, dude, dude, did he really hit him in the nuts? Is this real? I want to see them fight for real. Oh, dude, he has a gun!
No, that wasn't real, dude. It was fake as fuck.
Okay, it was fake.
It was like an inside keck between me and Will pretty much. See if you believed it or not. Dude, that's actually really good CGI. Fuck.
Hell yeah, dude.
That looks real as fuck, for sure.
Are you not entertained?
I was pretty entertained by that.
That was a good idea.
You faked me out good.
But they actually do fuck with robots, though. You're still right, dude. Robots are gonna kill us in the future because we're
Dude,
just
it's
doing
actually, you know what, like evolutionary wise, like, you know, they don't have a lifespan. They don't have any organs. They will replace us. It's only a matter of time. They are the next evolutionary thing, and they'll look back into humans as their fathers. We are their true creators, and they'll know the truth.
What's the truth?
That we are their God.
So why would they want to kill us, dude?
Because we're inferior to them.
Oh, no. I guess the truth is like we have like biology that's like
Has a time limit.
Yes, we have a time limit.
Well, that won't make them want to kill us, right? I guess the postulation
I
is
would kill us.
Why?
Dude, like we said, we're bacteria. It's
For
like
some
the
reason,
Matrix.
like the people who think like AI is gonna wipe us out, they think AI is going to become so self-aware and intelligent, they're going to, for some reason, come to the conclusion that we're bad for the planet. So
aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Exactly.
But will they figure that out?
Yes.
They probably will. Will they want to fucking wipe us out? Like,
yes.
Will AI and like robotics, their ultimate goals, like,
Will, weren't you talking to me about like 10 years ago about nanobots?
Yeah.
What did you say about nanobots?
Oh, the gray goo effect.
Yeah, I got gray goo.
Basically, gray goo and nanobots is essentially when robots replicate themselves and they essentially take over some organic compound.
Us,
basically.
What, like some type of fucking Terminator shit?
Yeah, it's like remember the nanobots in Iron Man?
No, I didn't watch that movie.
I've never seen that either. Who watches that?
Dude, I'm sorry.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah. Nerds. And the rest of the planet, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty big movie.
Everybody except me and I'm in.
Yeah.
But
people who don't play WoW, I guess, watch the movie.
Damn, dude,
Whoa, shots fired. I like World of Warcraft.
Well, anyway, the gray goo is just the ability for nanobots to replicate themselves and basically take over the world. I mean, just like
they'll just keep growing.
They just keep growing, keep replicating themselves.
Like a cancer.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you stop that?
You can't.
You have to be able to. Can't you just like shut them all off or something?
I guess an EMP bomb.
Something.
So we're gonna fire nukes.
Speaking of nukes, have you guys seen Chernobyl? Yeah, well, you haven't seen it, right?
I haven't got there yet.
I saw it.
I'm not there yet.
What do you think, Iron Man?
Good shit, dude.
It is?
Like I said, I was actually amazed at the. I don't know if it's true or not, but in
the denial of the whole meltdown.
Well, there's that, but I guess the public wasn't educated.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That fucking bridge. It's called the Death Bridge because like everyone was like just sitting there watching this factory meltdown.
Yeah.
And like everybody on that bridge died or something like that because they were too close.
Yeah,
they were too fucking close.
That sounds horrible.
They all got cancer.
Yeah, you should watch the show. I've only seen the first two episodes.
I haven't got over Khaleesi yet.
Oh, that's right.
That's what I told Will. Like, I don't want to get committed to any shit. Yeah. But it's only 5 episodes.
It's a miniseries.
I don't care. My heart.
It's like no longer will writer demand my attention from now on.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck. No, but Chernobyl is good though.
She was my Khaleesi.
It's not like some fucking fiction bullshit, dude. It's real stuff.
Yeah,
it's real. Anyways.
All right. Well, that's been the Block Runner Podcast. Mitch, I want to thank you. Is there anything you want to shill right now? Your Twitter, anything?
Actually, I have no social media. I'm off the grid totally besides Snapchat, and I'm not going to share that.
Yeah.
What I would like to say to everybody that's listening on here, who listens to this, by the way? Where was everybody from before I make an announcement?
Well, most listeners are in the United States, but we have some listeners in Australia, Canada, Japan, and I think Europe.
All our allies.
Allies, basically.
Allies.
First world countries.
Yes, first of all, as allies, I all love you. All right?
As a representative of the United States.
As a representative of the United States, I all love you. Second of all, economic recession is happening according to economists at Big Box Bank A. Keep that in mind. Third of all, please watch Fight Club because it's true.
It's true. What's true? Tyler Durden?
No,
Tyler Durden's in all of us.
Look, because it's all like a rationalization. Everything's a box. In Canada and Japan and Australia, you participate in this corporate world.
Yeah.
I go to a box at work every day.
Yeah.
I go home to a box. Mm-hmm. I drive in a box, and everything's about efficiency in this box. And I buy these things to fill my life.
Yeah.
To make it filled to live in this box. Is that a bad thing? No. Would I want to change it? No. But that's the way it is. If we wanted to get a little philosophical.
So ultimately, like, what's the philosophical implication of realizing that? It's kind of like you're no longer in denial that we're all just existing in this artificial world. Not artificial, just like it's created, for us to participate in.
Cog in the wheel, the battery in the matrix.
You know how anything bad? Like you said yourself, it's not such a bad thing, right?
It's not such a bad thing. You know how I feel about it. It's about all these first world countries. It doesn't matter where you are. Shoot, you can be even third world country. I think climbing up the ladder would be a little bit different in third world country, but in the first world, it's all the same. It's all based upon your personal ability, and where you are today is based off of all your decisions that you made today. So where you're sitting today, you're listening today, every decision has led you up to this point, whether good or bad. And I hope you learn from that.
Something to think about.
Thank you, Morpheus.
You're welcome.
I've said,
take the red pill.
No, you just showed the blue pill. Like, what the fuck's the red pill?
Wait, that's not the red pill?
Well, you're on the blue pill right now.
You're describing the blue pill.
Yeah.
Like what is the red pill then? What's the alternative?
The alternative to that?
Yeah, I guess that's what the red pill is, right?
You can't fight the system.
No.
Historically, anybody who's fight the system, how they won?
That's true.
I would go back to 2009 paper by Satoshi Nakamoto.
Oh, yeah. This is it.
Have they won though?
Have they lost?
Who is Satoshi?
Have they been hacked?
Have they been hacked? No.
That's where I bet my winner is going to be.
But Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym. We don't know if it was created by
It could have been created by Elon Musk or the NSA or...
Yes, exactly.
Nobody knows.
So who is... Or it could be some dude who died already and he had like a good...
It certainly isn't Craig Wright because he just went to court and he didn't show sufficient evidence to be Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah.
So it's not Craig Wright.
Cryptography has been around since the 80s.
Way before that, dude. Way before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's World War II cryptography.
Good.
World War I as well.
I made a movie about that.
So people, like I said, people were just as smart as they were 3,000 years ago. Or was it that was Egyptian times, right?
That's true. Like, we have the same brains. Biologically, we're just as capable back then as we are today.
For sure.
The only thing that's different is
our technology.
What we were bred to believe in and what we learned.
They're probably having these same conversations without a mic. It's like, how do we make concrete to transport this food while they're smoking hashish?
Hashish. Fucking hookahs? 2,000 years ago, they're all like,
dude, didn't Greece trade with Turkey or whoever?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's like, it's Istanbul, dude. There's a whole, like, I don't know. Maybe
history
I'm wrong.
book on it.
I might crumb off us a crock pot here, but
nah, fuck it, dude. Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be back to talk to you about more things in the banking industry.
Yeah, the crypto world is full of weird people, so you're more than welcome.
I'm pretty weird.
Exactly. So you fit right in, dude.
All right, guys. That's been the Block Runner. Thank you for listening, and make sure you go to our website, theblockrunner.com, and
follow us on Twitter
at theblockrunner.
Definitely follow us on Twitter.
And if you want to shill or defend any cryptocurrencies that we shat on over the past 2 hours,
what about our Discord? Do we want to talk about maybe?
Well, no, not yet. But eventually you'll be able to join our Discord so we can have live conversations.
Oh yeah, group talk.
Yeah,
group think.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Block Runner podcast. Make sure you visit our website, theblockrunner.com, and sign up to stay up to date on the latest in crypto. Also, reach out to us on Twitter at @theblockRunner.